What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, and this is part 3 of the most prolific, consistent, and dedicated WWE content right here on YouTube.com. Figured I'd throw that in there. I was watching Sean's View the other day, and he's using #1 source for all WWE content right here on YouTube.com. That's what I say, man. That's what I say over here on my channel. So I figured I'd poke a little fun at him. Nice and friendly fun, I might add. And some of you fucking goons may go over there and say, "Oh my God, JD is attacking Sean's View." I'm not attacking him, man. I got his fucking cell phone number. Me and him talk on occasion. We're cool. Okay, so don't mind that it's just some friendly fucking banter, alright? But this is part number 3, guys, to close out your weekend. Off the script, number 41. I got a lot more news on Sting, and I got big news about what I'm going to be planning for you guys, because most of you in part 1 have asked for it. I'm going to give it to you. I'll talk about that in a second, but I want to show off Macho Man Randy Savage. Got him. The Funko Pop, man. I got Randy Savage. And I gotta tell you, man, I got a nice girlfriend. I tell you that, man. I'm a lucky guy. Out of all this CM Punk situation, man, all this talk about CM Punk, I am big on CM Punk merchandise because after what we heard on The Art of Wrestling, we may never see him in WWE ever again. Okay? And with the new stories I'm going to be talking about coming up, you know, Triple H and Vince McMahon aren't too pleased about what happened on Colt Cabana's podcast. So, my girlfriend texted me a picture of this figurine, and I'm like, you know what? You have to buy this for me. You see it right there. You're holding it. You're touching it. You got to buy it for me, man. So, I don't know if this is an old figure or not. I know Sean's View collects these figurines. I don't know if he has this one or not, but CM Punk Elite WWE, man. This is from Jakks Pacific Mattel. So, I don't know, man. He comes with the hoodie. This is going to be a collectible item, man. CM Punk Elite. I have to collect everything Punk. I got the Funko Pop CM Punk. I'm waiting for AJ Lee in the mail. I should be going to pick it up at the post office on Monday. But, you know, I'm a geek, man. I'm a fucking geek. Anything CM Punk, especially with his comic book coming out, I'm going to be all over that, man. It's going to be hot merchandise. People are going to be looking for Punk merchandise, so I figured I'd get the ball rolling. And I got Macho Man to add to my Funko Pop collection, so it's pretty cool. But you're not here to see my fucking toys and my figurines, man. I know I'm a geek, but you guys are here for Off the Script. Thank you so much for all your love and support over the past couple of weeks, especially with my WWE 2K15 content. If you guys are missing that, man, regular uploads about WWE 2K15 career mode. Go and check that out. Daily uploads all weekend, man. If you missed any of that, all that shit is down in the description below. Go and check that out. Do yourselves a favor. You know, lots of laughs in there, great matches, lots of suspense. Go check that out. I would greatly appreciate it. I want my WWE 2K videos to be, you know, to be doing a lot better than they are. But, you know, everyone and their mother's posting the same fucking content, so it's tough to stand out. But if you guys missed any of that, please go check that out down below. Universe Mode is coming on Monday. Tomorrow, I should be finally free from work for a day to get that uploaded and work on that. So Universe Mode number 3 is coming very, very soon, this coming Monday, okay? Moving on. Chair Shot Reality. If you guys don't know who they are, shame on you. LeBar, Eisenberg, and Ghoulish. Go check them out. I believe they had the weekend off for Thanksgiving, so you can catch up on their older shit, man. They had a bunch of videos with Vince Russo. They just celebrated the 250th episode over there on Chair Shot. Go and check that out. The #1 place for professional wrestling news, man, giving you guys the reality of the wrestling business. And if you guys want more, LeBar, he's all over the place. He's got his own podcast. He's writing for Trib Live. He's on the radio for Trib Live. He's not doing Bleacher Report anymore. But LeBar is all over the place. So if you guys want to go follow him all over social media, all his information is down below. He is one of my personal favorites, if not my personal favorite, to listen to about professional wrestling, man. He's got a great mind. So go check him out. Joe Cronin Show. If you guys want additional wrestling content, Joe Cronin is your man. Links to his Twitter and his YouTube page down below in the description. Go and check him out. And if you guys want even more additional wrestling content. The guys over at TRN, go and check them out. I was on their show a couple of weeks in a row. I did a Survivor Series review, and then they had me on for their show Around the Point. Go and check those guys out if you guys want more additional wrestling content besides what you hear here on Off the Script. All right, now moving on. Sting and the possibility of him wrestling for WWE before WrestleMania 31. All right, based off the way he debuted at the WWE Survivor Series on November 23rd, it would appear that plans are now set in motion for Sting to battle Triple H at WrestleMania 31. That may not be the case, though. As of November 22nd, WWE officials were reportedly still planning on having Sting take on a returning Undertaker at the big event, although Taker's health will ultimately determine whether or not that comes to fruition. There's no word yet on if WWE is changing course and giving Sting inevitable WrestleMania feuds with Triple H, okay? There is also a possibility that a Sting vs. Triple H bout takes place in the months leading to WrestleMania. WWE Royal Rumble on January 25th is a strong possibility. Sting has mentioned numerous times in the past that he would like to compete at least once for the company at WrestleMania, although the door is now open for him to compete on multiple occasions if need be. So Sting's had a desire to wrestle for the WWE at WrestleMania and have that be his one match in the company. But now, like the report says, the door is obviously open for him to compete at multiple events against whomever the WWE sees fit, okay? I'll talk about that in a second. What this all ultimately adds up to is Sting ending his in-ring career after WrestleMania and finding himself inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. In a second report, The Rock will be filming a movie in the spring, so he's likely not going to be doing WrestleMania 31. His movie schedule is not set in stone, so there is still a chance that he could be able to make it to the show, but as of right now, he's not doing WrestleMania. Also, Rock makes more money for one movie than he does for WrestleMania. You might remember that they teased Triple H versus The Rock at the SmackDown 15th anniversary show. The reason for Triple H versus Sting, which is the likely rumored match right now, and likely being set up for WrestleMania, is because of the belief that Rock isn't doing WrestleMania. Okay, so there you have it. All right, I got more news on Sting in a little bit, but what I said in yesterday's video, like I said, if you missed Off the Script, parts 1 and 2 where I talk about Punk, and then part 2 I talk about Sting. In part 2, I mentioned that I would be one of the very few. I know a lot of people are very opinionated about this. They want to see Sting wrestle one match only, and that would be at WrestleMania, and that would be against The Undertaker. Now, we don't know about The Undertaker's health, okay? We won't hear about The Undertaker until WrestleMania season. As soon as the Royal Rumble ends and we get closer to February, we won't know what The Undertaker's future will hold in a WWE ring, especially this year at WrestleMania, okay? After what he went through with Brock Lesnar, nobody knows but The Undertaker, okay? But if you're going to go the route of Sting versus Triple H, I like that match, man. That match intrigues me, okay? WCW is long gone, but WCW will always live in the mind and the heart of Sting. He's the last remaining guy from WCW that's still lingering around. Triple H has always been there in the WWE. He is the lifeblood of the WWE. You know, barring any douchebag, comments regarding Triple H and this whole CM Punk situation, I'm talking about Triple H, the in-ring performer. I'm not talking about Triple H, the guy behind the curtain, the guy who is the businessman and takes care of his roles in WWE corporate. I'm not talking about that Triple H, okay? I'll have a lot to say about that in a future video, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I'm going to fill you guys in on a lot of information, all right? But Triple H, the in-ring performer, against Sting, that match intrigues me. Like I said, Triple H, the performer, is the lifeblood of WWE. So that match would automatically be something I would love to see. Now, like I said, I would be one of the very few who wants to see Sting on more than one occasion. All right, some of you in yesterday's video were commenting in the comment section. You would have him fight Triple H, and then Bray Wyatt, and then The Undertaker, which will culminate at next year's, not next year, I'm talking about next year being next year, but WrestleMania 32, okay? I could see that. I could see that. You want to get something out of Sting, all right? If Sting is able to go, I wouldn't mind seeing him in big marquee matches, man, for the remainder of the year, okay? From WrestleMania on all the way to the following WrestleMania at Dallas Stadium in Dallas, Texas, okay? Or Cowboy Stadium. I would do it a little bit differently. I would have him go against Triple H, okay? If you want to do the Triple H thing and give The Undertaker the year off, fine. Do it. I think Sting is a big enough draw at WrestleMania where it would compensate for The Undertaker not being there. And you know, we're not dummies. We would all know why The Undertaker is not there. He could sell his injuries to Lesnar, yada, yada, yada. Okay, Lesnar's going to be on the card. Daniel Bryan hopefully will be back. You got Dolph Ziggler rising through the ranks. You got Rusev being built up nicely. You got Roman Reigns coming back. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. WWE could have a stacked card for WrestleMania if they book it right. Wade Barrett's another one. Sheamus. They could have a stacked card. Okay? I would do it Triple H versus Sting at WrestleMania. Then you go all the way to SummerSlam. All right? I don't see John Cena playing into the WWE title plans come SummerSlam. I don't think he needs to be in the title plans. You book Sting versus John Cena for SummerSlam, man. Especially in New York City. You want that big marquee matchup? That's fucking massive. You book Sting versus John Cena at SummerSlam. You sell that pay-per-view off that match. Sting in New York for the WWE at SummerSlam against the face of the company, John Cena. Can't get any more bigger than that, man. And then, finally, we get the match we all want. Undertaker, Sting, retirement match for both men at WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. Undertaker's hometown. Obviously, you're going to put The Undertaker over, all right? You don't want to see Sting lose any of his matches in WWE except for that one, okay? I would imagine that Sting is going to put over The Undertaker, especially in a retirement match. Nothing wrong with losing to The Undertaker at WrestleMania, man. I would like to see that happen and culminate, especially that way that I planned out. You know, who knows what WWE has in store for Sting, you know, but if he's got one match, fine. We're lucky he's here. If he's got more than one, fantastic. I wouldn't stretch it past WrestleMania 32. I think that would be it. That's what I would do with Sting when it comes to putting him against certain people or individuals at WrestleMania and SummerSlam and Royal Rumble. That's the way I would book it. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Vince McMahon made the call to do the Sting angle at Survivor Series. It was all Vince McMahon's idea, okay? There were other reasons by the primary reason for debuting Sting on the show, and that was because of the WWE Network's free month being offered. Vince felt that the show needed a heavy stipulation to get interest in the show. I don't necessarily agree with that. If WWE went back to the basics in booking Survivor Series, they could have avoided making this a one-match show. WWE and Vince McMahon were in desperation mode. That's what that means to me. They were in desperation mode because they knew they had nothing else on the card besides the Authority versus Team Cena. So doing the Sting angle and making Sting appear at Survivor Series was for the betterment of the network, and it also saved Survivor Series. Okay? The match was fantastic. Authority versus Team Cena was a fantastic matchup, and I still say this to this very day. After that pay-per-view, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. Great fucking match. But to me, it was, you know, Vince had his back against the wall. He's like, you know what? We have nothing else on this card but this one match. We built this card on one match and one match alone. We need something that's going to be remembered. Okay? Network is free. People are potentially watching this network. We want them to, you know, be hooked on the product. You know, anything can happen on WWE pay-per-view. And that's why he did it. That's exactly why he did it. He knew that the Survivor Series for a free network or for a free show in the month of November is just not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. So Sting was the best choice for him to do at that very moment. Okay. So the idea was to get as many people ordering for free and then have them subscribe, like I just mentioned. Also, since Sting is a major character in WWE 2K15, the timing for his debut was right. They also like to do teases at Survivor Series to get the ball rolling for WrestleMania. They could have gone with Goldberg, but Goldberg is tougher to do business with, and they never came close to a deal last year, even though it would have been a logical choice to do Goldberg versus Ryback. There were reports that the Sting debut was last minute. It was a last-minute call, but we know now that it was not the case. In fact, they had filmed footage for his entrance video a while back, and the Sting plan was in place for weeks. Okay? Sting did appearances for WWE 2K15 during the week leading up to Survivor Series, and he did not give away any hints about his upcoming debut, so he did a great job keeping things quiet on his end. As noted before, the plan looks to be for a match with Triple H at WrestleMania. If all goes well, then the door is open for Sting to do more with the WWE in the future. Okay? Moving on. The latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter has provided further details in regards to Sting's debut and match at WrestleMania 31, which has not yet been locked down. This is another separate report on Sting from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, paid subscription, all right? As previously reported, the man called Sting, a 30-year in-ring veteran, stepped foot inside a WWE ring for the first time ever in his career on November 23rd at Survivor Series 2014. According to the report, while Sting, real name Steve Borden, was not revealed to be debuting at the Survivor Series until a few days before the event by PWInsider.com, WWE and Sting had planned this move for weeks. One obvious telltale sign that this was the case was that Sting had not shot or that Sting had shot footage for his entrance video with the company. None of the footage used for his Titantron movie was old content. All right. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter says that the debut was scheduled for Survivor Series because of the event's weak card and due to the fact that it was being offered for free on the WWE Network. He also mentions that Triple H will likely be the upcoming opponent for Sting, not The Undertaker, at WrestleMania 31. Meltzer continues to write, most likely, Sting will do one WWE match at WrestleMania, probably against Triple H. Dwayne Johnson, who teased the match at WrestleMania with Triple H recently, signed to do a movie in the spring. Sting had long said he wanted to face Undertaker at WrestleMania, but if that is not possible, his choice would be Triple H. The reason they did the angle at Survivor Series was a decision by Vince McMahon. Aside from all other reasons, the primary reason is November was a big month for the WWE Network, with them for the first time offering a pay-per-view show for free. The problem, the lineup was weak and nobody would have cared. McMahon felt it needed a heavy stipulation to garner interest, thus putting the authority role in jeopardy and paying it off, with the idea of a strong show that would get as many people ordering for free to subscribe. All right. In addition, with Sting as a major character in the video game just being released, the timing was right for him to debut as a character on television. WWE also likes to tease something at Survivor Series to start the ball rolling for WrestleMania. There are a few rabbits they can pull out of their hat that would have came close last year, even with Goldberg versus Ryback, and that seemed like a natural matchup based on an organic fan interest, okay? But like I said, Goldberg is much tougher than Sting to do business with, and they never came close to a deal. At another time, the call may have been different, but the feeling was, with Survivor Series being a free show designed to sell people on maintaining network subscriptions, a logical build for an Orton vs. Rollins or Orton vs. Rollins vs. Cena match at the next pay-per-view wasn't going to do that. While Sting's return was kept secretive until a couple of days before the show, this was not a last-minute call. Sting himself kept it quiet. He was on the road Monday through Wednesday doing promotion work for WWE 2K15 and never hinted to anyone that he would be doing anything with the company. But he had filmed footage for his entrance video, and this plan has been in place for a few weeks. That was Dave Meltzer just reiterating what I just read to you from an earlier report based on the same topic. So you guys get the idea. Sting was in this all along. He kept his mouth shut. This was planned for weeks, and it was done to boost network subscriptions. And the WWE realized that Survivor Series in the card was a one-match show. It was very weak, and it needed something, and Sting was the right guy. It was great, but WWE did not follow up with that, and they made everything with Sting seem like it never happened, man. Monday Night Raw the following night did absolutely nothing to maintain that viewer interest about the product, and that's where WWE fucked up. They did something great at the Survivor Series, fucked it up immediately the next night on Monday Night Raw, and the ratings showed it. Monday Night Raw ratings in the first hour were fucking the best they've seen all year. Hour 2, hour 3, people realize Sting's not coming out. Right down the toilet. WWE fucked it up. So that's why they did what they did at Survivor Series with Sting. That is the full details of Sting in WWE and how it transpired. All right, let me know what you think down below. The first edition of SmackDown following Survivor Series was taped on Tuesday, November 25th. The episode will air on November 28th, which was this past Friday, featuring Daniel Bryan's return to SmackDown. Once again, Bryan served as the acting general manager for the show. The former WWE World Heavyweight Champion used his power to announce the second match for the TLC pay-per-view. Prior to Bryan's announcement, Ryback faced Seth Rollins in singles action. The close back-and-forth match would come to a halt early as Kane interfered. Kane attacked Ryback, giving the big guy a win via disqualification. Kane was looking for revenge due to being humiliated by Ryback during his stint at the concession stand on Monday Night Raw. Kane made Ryback pay, delivering steel chair shots to the towering behemoth, the report says. Afterwards, Bryan utilized his power to announce a match between Ryback and Kane at TLC. The two giants will face off in a chairs match at the pay-per-view. The bout joins Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt in a tables, ladders, and chairs match as the only matches being confirmed right now for TLC. Please put me to sleep and grab me a pillow. I don't care. I don't care about Ryback, especially after what I heard about CM Punk on the podcast and all the comments he made after the fact. And I just don't care about Kane, man. Fuck them both. Really. Fuck them both. Okay? Just figured I'd let you guys know on that so you guys can prepare for the sleep fest that will be Ryback vs. Kane at TLC, right? The Authority role is apparently not something that the company has, has well planned out. We all know that, all right? Obviously, WWE and Monday Night Raw weren't too prepared, for whatever happened on the show. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the original plan for last Monday's Raw was for them to do a segment with Vince McMahon and John Cena. That segment would then lead to a period of no Authority figure on the show. Instead, they ended the show by bringing back the mystery Raw general manager. There had been talk of doing a weekly general manager of the night. That would include a celebrity on some weeks, which could help the company get some mainstream buzz. Please, for the fucking love of God, I don't want to see that. Fuck the celebrities, man. You don't belong in the WWE universe, and it comes off as being fucking lame. Plain and simple. I don't want to see celebrities on Raw. They don't belong there. They look out of place. They look like they don't even want to be there half the time. You can't mix that type of shit with professional wrestling. It just doesn't gel, all right? Then on the WWE Network pre-show, they changed it and said that the board of directors would then decide on a new general manager. So it's very clear that plans were changing throughout the day on Monday Night Raw. Typical WWE, not knowing where to go with storylines and being unprepared. All right, so that is nothing new there. Former WWE superstar Yoshi Tatsu, I don't know if you guys heard this story, unfortunately has sustained a broken neck according to posts on his Twitter account. The current New Japan Pro Wrestling star known as Yoshi Tatsu made the news known in a series of tweets on Tuesday, November 25th. His tweets were in Japanese, but have been translated to convey his message to English speakers. At first, the injury was most likely believed to occur on November 8th during New Japan Pro Wrestling's iPay-per-view Power Struggle, though Tatsu would go on to note that the exact injury date was not confirmed and it shouldn't be immediately chalked up as occurring on the 8th. At the event, Tatsu faced AJ Styles and received a Styles clash, which may very well be the cause of the injury. Later on that night, doctors would confirm that Tatsu had sustained 2 broken bones in the neck. Additionally, it was confirmed that the injury most definitely occurred on November 8th. Tatsu noted that this was the first time he had been hospitalized since birth. And he's been in a great deal of pain ever since, mixed with frustration. The injury also produced long nights for the international star, as he had not yet been able to take sleeping pills. Still, Tatsu has kept his head up high. He has stated that he will never give up, and has been thanking fans and friends for their well wishes and concern. That is fucked up, man. Sorry to hear that about Yoshi Tatsu. I actually seen the still photos. Someone posted it on my Twitter wall. I don't know where they got them from, but you see the impact of the Styles clash when AJ goes for it and nails him on the mat. Tatsu's neck was literally not face down, but his head was like fucking tilted to the point where when Styles delivered it, his neck, I don't even want to see the actual film, man. It just looked painful by the still shot just right before his head hit the mat. But I'm sorry to hear that about Yoshitatsu. I wish him a speedy recovery. I don't wish anything like that to anyone in this profession, in this business. And he will be out for over a year recuperating from this. Hopefully he comes back and he can go back to doing what he loves to do in New Japan Pro Wrestling, man. I wish him a speedy recovery on that. And I know AJ Styles didn't mean it. It was a freak accident, and AJ's got to be feeling bad, man. I don't want to know what AJ's feeling right now, but you know it wasn't done on purpose. It was for the love of the show. Something went wrong. These guys are not perfect. I mean, they're holding each other's lives in their hands when they get in that ring. And like I said, I wish Yoshitatsu well. My well wishes go out to AJ Styles that he's dealing with this very well, man, because he must feel overwhelming guilt about what happened. But it happens. We see this all the time in wrestling. So I wish both of them a speedy recovery. The fact that AJ gets over this and it doesn't bother him, and Yoshitatsu, the fact that he gets back into the ring at when he wants, and he can continue doing what he loves to do. So I wish him a speedy recovery on that. Daniel Bryan has returned to WWE television. No shit. As previously reported, Bryan was rumored to be backstage for the November 24th edition of Monday Night Raw. During the opening segment of the program, Bryan came out to see the Authority walk out of the arena to a chorus of yes chants. Following his initial appearance, it was then revealed that John Cena, who was allowed to pick a new general manager of the program, has selected Bryan as the man for the job. While Bryan was the GM for the November 24th edition of the program, the company has made it clear that it may only be a one-off. It's assumed that Cena will choose a new GM for the program on a week-to-week basis until a new Authority figure is put into permanent position. Number one, I think Authority figures on Monday Night Raw are fucking lame. We've seen so much of it. Nobody's ever going to be a Vince McMahon. Daniel Bryan, I wouldn't even brought him back for that situation, because now when he does come back, it's going to be like, okay, Bryan's back. It's not going to be at full pop like I mentioned previously, but that's what's going on with the Authority position on Monday Night Raw. And finally, movie news about Mr. Hollywood, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Although it is not confirmed, there are rumors circulating that Dwayne The Rock Johnson may be joining the cast of Transformers 5. How many fucking action movies is this guy going to be in, man? He's all over the action-adventure shit, man. I don't understand it. He's just fucking everywhere. You see The Rock everywhere in every action movie. It's always fucking starring The Rock. He would replace Mark Wahlberg, who revealed back in September that he would not be reprising his role for a sequel. Transformers Age of Extinction totaled $244 million domestically and did $1.07 billion worldwide. And I wonder, and I ask myself why these movies are continued to be made. There you go. $1 billion worldwide. Transformers number 4 made. So that's unbelievable. Producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventura isn't ruling out the possibility of doing Transformers and G.I. Joe, another Paramount picture Johnson is a star of. They want to do a Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover at some point, although that is highly unlikely. That would be fucking terrible. I don't want to see that ever. I think if in some moment we all think, you know what, it's time to bring the two of them together, then we'll do it. But I think there's a strong enough cast to exist on their own separately. So that's that. Bruce Willis is actually also rumored to be joining the cast for Transformers 5 in an unconfirmed role. The sequel will hit theaters at some point in 2016. That is WWE Off The Script Part 3, man. Lots of news this weekend, especially with the whole CM Punk situation. And my big news is, you guys were asking for it. You guys were complaining. Some of you were complaining, actually. Not bad complaining, but you guys heard the podcast and you were disappointed that I just kind of went over the most important aspects of it with no real opinion behind it. I did that, okay, for the simple fact that people who did not hear the podcast would understand what Punk is talking about and the reason why he walked away from WWE and the whole reason, he's not coming back to the WWE. You guys got to keep in mind that Off The Script is a news and rumors show. I'm here to deliver the news. My opinion and everything I talk about, about these stories is second. Number one, this is an opinion. This is a news and rumors show. My opinion comes second, all right? If I want to give you my full opinion on one topic, I will do Behind the Mic. You guys wanted Behind the Mic for CM Punk. I'm going to be working on that very soon. I should have that out this week, okay? If you guys haven't heard the podcast, Art of Wrestling, Colt Cabana, number 25, CM Punk talks about it in depth with Colt Cabana, why he left the WWE and why he's never coming back. Great show, probably the best podcast I ever listened to. So if you missed it, go check it out, all right? And I also will be doing NXT TakeOver Revolution. I will be doing a review. I got my boy Mike Williams doing a thumbnail for it. My boy Isaac actually just made me a thumbnail for Behind the Mic as well. I'm going to shout him out. He wants me to shout out his Instagram. I'm going to leave his Instagram down in the description. Go follow him. He's a fucking legit beast. My shows here on Off the Script and Behind the Mic would not be anywhere without Isaac, man. He is a fucking legit monster, and he makes everything you see. My fucking layouts. He made a new layout for Behind the Mic that you guys will be seeing next week. Go follow him on Instagram. He posts short videos on there, funny videos. He wanted me to relay that to you guys, so go follow him on Twitter, actually, and Instagram. Everything you need from Isaac is down below in the description. Go check him out, all right? But that's what's coming up, guys. I want to get you guys excited for that. Off the Script coming, CM Punk special, my full in-depth opinion about CM Punk and this whole story that leaked out on Colt Cabana's podcast. NXT Revolution, December 11th. I will be reviewing the show for you guys because a lot of you guys have been asking for it. And Monday Night Raw. Hopefully Monday Night Raw is good enough to where I can do a review next week. So hopefully Raw is good on Monday. If not, you're not getting a review. Sorry to tell you guys. But that is Off the Script, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's show. Leave a like on your way out the door. It greatly helps out my channel. If you're not subscribed to me, what the fuck are you waiting for, man? #1 source for all WWE News and Rumors right here on YouTube.com. If you're not following me on Twitter, at JDfromNY206. I'll see you guys next week, man. #1 source. This is JD signing out. I'll talk to you guys later.